Hi, Marissa. This is the video feedback on your PowerPoint presentation. And first of all, I want to start by saying that it's very professional in appearance, which is very good, and easy to read, easy to understand. There are some points I want to point out here for you, um, so that you can make your edits. First, there's missing the voiceover, so I wasn't able to help you with that or give any feedback on your voiceover, but you're going to need to include the voiceover, for your final project. It is part of the assignment. Second of all, on the second slide here, there's a typo. This is comorbidities, COMORBIDITIES, comorbidities. So you want to make sure that spelling is correct. Um, this second slide here, you're talking about diagnosis coding. It really doesn't apply to the point of the presentation, although diagnosis coding is important in coding in general, and it's important for inpatient coding. It isn't the focus of what this PowerPoint presentation is supposed to be about. So you could actually delete this slide altogether. Um, Next, on the third slide, you say using the notes form, reading the chart, use, uh, I think this is supposed to be from, so that's a typo. Um, you're not necessarily going to want to take notes. All of the information is going to be provided to you in the op report. And when you're coding as a coder, you're going to have two screens, or you should be given dual monitors by your employer. If they don't, you're going to want to make sure that you're using dual monitors. So you may, in rare instances, you may have to purchase a second monitor, but it will behoove you to do so. The dual monitors allow you to have a working screen and then a reading screen, so that you can view the chart on one screen and code in the second screen, or use an Excel spreadsheet, for any purpose, or, wherever you're doing most of your work. One for reading, one for working. So by having the dual monitors, you'll have your op note up. You won't need to take notes, and it would minimize the amount of errors that you could potentially have if you misread the op note and wrote the wrong thing down, um, which can happen. So you want to code directly from the op note. Let's see here. Okay, so searching for the main term, that's good. Using the information to find the table that best describes the procedure. Okay, that's from the alphabetic index. So that's what you're doing when you're looking in the alphabetic index. You're finding the correct table to go to. And then once you get to the table, you want to put in here finish building code, something about finish building the code according to the documentation by reading across that row in the table that most appropriately fits, or however you want to word that. But you should have that last part. You need to finish building the code, something about that. And then this is good about the principal procedure. It should be supported. 7 alphanumeric. Now, this is good. You say most codes in inpatient setting will be in med surg, but there are some codes that are not in med surg section, and so they're going to end up with other descriptions here for the rest of the 7 characters. So if one starts with a 2 or one starts with a 3, you could end these body system, root operation, body part approach, device, and qualifier. Those could change based on what section you're in. So I'm not sure if you want to mention anything about that. Um, Okay. And again, taking note in your head, you're making a mental note, but you don't necessarily need to jot all of this down. It's best that the less writing outside of the system you do, the less you have to shred, for one, for PHI purposes, but also the less errors you might have if you write something down incorrectly. And this is a good example. I would reword how you walk through this though. You need to explain which one you're selecting for your example. Maybe a little bit about why you're selecting that one. And then combine them all into one slide maybe. You can shrink this down a little bit or put it in a different place, move it around, or change the font size in some of this so that it will all fit into one slide. But it's kind of broken, and the two slides don't seem to flow. So you might want to check how you wrote the information. Make sure that it's clear from point to point to point that you're making, that it's easy to read and someone can follow through very, very easily to see how that you arrived at the 0FT440Z code. Your references page, it's great that you have the references. That's excellent. On the student resources tab here, you have information here. There are two questions. It says, how do I create references and in-text citations? Both are required to properly reference resources within your material. In-text citations are used on the individual slides where you're using the information. And then you, at the very end, you have a references page, a references slide, depending on your project. So I would suggest you go through and read these links. This is given to you by the college regarding how to do this. It says, how do I structure my work and cite my references in APA style? This also has information here. And then Word, if you're creating documents, say you were to type your PowerPoint into the Word document, you can use the references tab here in Word, and it will allow you to add, like you can add your sources. And then it will create in-text citations for you, so you can insert that after you have your source loaded. You can insert your in-text citation, and then you can copy and paste from the Word document into your PowerPoint presentation. And that helps a couple of things. It helps with making sure your format turns out correctly if you select APA here in this area. It also makes sure that it saves on time, and that you can just copy and paste. You don't have to retype it twice. And it's a useful tool. So in case you wanted to use that, that would be an option. If you have any questions on how to do the voiceover, since I couldn't review that for you, please let me know. Please send me an email, however you want to work that, and we can go over that. That would be great. We could also, collaborate, or IM back and forth, or email, or however it works for you. If you have any questions on what I mentioned here, I'm just trying to help you make sure that it's smooth flowing and that it's polished for your final draft, because that is going to be uploaded into your e-portfolio. So you want to make sure that it's the best presentation that you can do for your e-portfolio, because that is what your current or your future employers, prospective employers, are going to see. That's how you're going to land your jobs. So you want to make sure that your e-portfolio is as polished as you possibly can get it. and for those future employers. So please let me know if you have any questions. And this was really nice. This was what is here is very professional. So know that you did a good job, and just continue working on the final draft, and we'll go from there. If you have any questions other than outside of that, feel free to give me an email or whatever, and we can talk. And have a great evening.